Hi Rock Dogs, Mr. B here. Today we are going to do the Trinity Rock and Pop Grade 2 breakdown. Now when I say breakdown, we're looking at the fills, we're looking at the grooves, how to play them, how to practice them, etc, etc. So, we're going to do song 2, it's the Techno Focus song. Let's have a look at it. Now if those that have lessons with me, you've got your groove sheet. This is groove, it's a two bar groove. It's groove number exercise 3 and exercise 16 together. So exercise 3 is like this: coffee, tea and bass, snare, bass, bass, T. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Exercise 16 is this one: bass, snare, bass, bass, snare. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and coffee, tea and coffee, tea and. So that's how you do the two grooves. So put them together. So the first thing you need to do with this is practice those two grooves together on the hi-hat. Now once you've done that, move your right hand to the rim of the floor tom and do the same thing. Now once you've got that, all you've got to do is add the extra toms. So the first tom is on the high tom. I'm not talking to Tom, my friend, by the way, when I say high tom. That's the high tom drum. Hey, hey, hey! It's good to pump. And the floor tom. So we go on the and of 4 and the and of 4 on the next bar. So it goes like this. I'll do it really slow so I count it out musically. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, remember your right hand doesn't stop. It's going all the time. When you hit that tom, make sure you're doing it together on both sticks. See, a lot of my students end up doing that and coming off the ride. No, this floor tom doesn't stop. Okay, so that's that bit. That's the first part of the groove. The next part of the groove is the second line. Again, this is exercise 3, but we slightly change it to exercise 20. So I'll do it as a clean hi-hat for now. So boom tee, boom boom tee, boom boom tee, boom boom tee. Bass, snare, bass, bass, snare, bass, bass, snare, bass, bass, snare. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now it says trashy. For me to do trashes, slightly open the hi-hat, only slightly. You can see the change of sound, and use the shaft of the stick. And that's how you practice. So the way to do it is practice the first groove as I've shown you on the hi-hat, then move on to the side of the rim, then practice the bar 5 and 6 with a clean hi-hat first, then go to the trashy hi-hat as I've showed you in the video. The only fill in this song is actually bar 24, 5, bar 26, and we're just going coffee, 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 coffee. That is it. That's the only fill in this song. So it starts on the bass. The bass is playing the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, and that really is it. You've got a bar 23, exercise 3, and that's hitting the crash on each beat. Crash, T, bass, bass, T. Crash, T, bass, bass, T. Crash, T, bass, bass, T. And a flam, not a phlegm, that's a phlegm. We want a flam on the very last beat of the song. And a flam is a grace note, a small, tiny note, just in front of the main crotchet. Okay? You get him in March. So that's how you play flams, like that. Obviously, if you were in march, you do the different, hold the stick slightly different, of course. And there's an accent on it, so you want that nice and loud. And hit it with the bass drum. And that's the end of the song. So that is song 2. Look at the video that we've done. Subscribe if you want to. That'd be great if you can. And if you look at the full version of me playing it, you'll be able to put all those two together. And it's great to practice along. So, okay, Rock Dogs, have fun. And we'll see you next time.